welcome back to my channel. Today is a super special video because it is a collab video with my girls High Carb Hannah and Chelsea May Cullen. So I'm going to be showing you 3 maximum weight loss meals for breakfast. Chelsea's going to be showing you guys 3 ideas for lunch and Hannah's going to be showing you guys 3 ideas for dinner. So I will link their videos and their channels in the description box below. Make sure you're following them on Instagram and make sure to subscribe to their channels. We've all lost about 180 pounds combined with this way of eating. So they're gonna be a really big resource for inspiration and recipes and tips and tricks. So make sure you guys check them out and follow their accounts. We will also be kicking off the Eat Your Veg Challenge again. So make sure you follow the Eat Your Veg Challenge account on Instagram. And this is just a free challenge where the first week of every month, we encourage you to eat all your meals that day as a 50-50 plate, where half your plate is full of veggies and the other half is full of starches. Last time we did this, you guys did such an amazing job. We had so many success stories coming in and we are still seeing the success stories from that challenge 2 months ago. You guys lost a ton of weight, you were feeling better, you had more energy, you were sleeping better, all sorts of success stories. So we're gonna be kicking that off again the first week of September and then doing it the first week of every month after that. So again, I will put everything in the description box for you guys below. All right, let's get into the food. So I'm just gonna use my Instapot to make my oatmeal. It's the quickest and easiest way in the morning. So I'm just gonna take 1 cup of dry steel cut oats, and that makes 2 to 3 servings. So it's 1 part oatmeal and 3 parts water. So this is 3 cups of water. And then I am just gonna set this to the porridge setting. And I'm gonna let it cook for 5 minutes and then I'll let it sit there on natural pressure release for an extra 20 minutes and then it'll be done. Okay, so the oatmeal is done cooking. It's been sitting here for 20 minutes. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how to make this apple streusel oatmeal. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a Honeycrisp apple, which are my absolute favorite. I think these taste like apple cider. They are my favorite apples. So I'm going to chop this up and you can add this to the oatmeal when you're cooking it if you like your apples soft, but I like my apples nice and crispy. I don't like them to be mushy in my oatmeal. Add all the apples. And then for the streusel, what I like to do is take a ripe banana and I'm just gonna mash it up. And then once it's mashed, I'm gonna add some cinnamon. You can also add apple pie spice. I just cannot seem to find mine. So I'm gonna add cinnamon. I like a lot of cinnamon. And then I'm gonna add some vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder or can't find it, again, don't worry, just use some vanilla extract and that works just fine. But again, I will try to find an Amazon link for you guys on this, but I just found it at Walmart. So I'm just gonna mix that up, and that makes like this really yummy streusel filling. And then I'm just gonna take 1 Brazil nut. And again, if you've cut out all overt fats, that's totally fine during weight loss, but it makes a big difference in the flavor in my opinion. Then I'm just gonna take the topping, and then the nuts. That's it. It makes such a delicious oatmeal. All right, so for my vegetables, I'm gonna do just like an Asian mix, and it's just some chopped broccoli, some snow peas, and some mushrooms. And I'm just gonna water saute them. All right, now the veggies are just lightly cooked. I don't like them overdone. All right, so now that my veggies are done, I'm just gonna serve myself. All right, so for topping, all I do is this Coconut Aminos garlic sauce. I really like this one. I like their teriyaki one as well. I'll try and find a link for you guys so you guys can see it, but otherwise I just pick it up in the natural health food stores. So this oatmeal, guys, is so good. I never get tired of this, especially as we get closer to the fall season. Like in the mountains where I live, it's cooler in the mornings now, so I'm starting to enjoy putting more cinnamon in things. This really hits the spot. But the key to like this streusel is putting a lot of cinnamon in. Just trust me, you want a lot of cinnamon in there because it'll just flavor your whole bowl of oatmeal. It's so good. And of course I'll eat like this huge plate full of vegetables before I get to my oatmeal. That way I get all my veggies in. Okay, so for these maple pecan roasted sweet potatoes, the first thing I'm gonna do is take some already baked sweet potatoes. Now you can use raw and then bake them when you throw them back in the oven, but I just always have sweet potatoes that I've already cooked for the week, and so it's just easier for me to do it this way. And then I think they get a lot sweeter in the oven. So I'm just gonna cube it, and now I'm just gonna move these over to a parchment lined baking sheet. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is season them with a little cinnamon. Now you could use like apple pie spice or pumpkin pie spice, that would be really good too. And then I'm gonna add a little vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder or can't find it, then just use a little vanilla extract. But I will try to find an Amazon link for you guys. I just found this in the baking section at Walmart. So I'm gonna give it a toss. All right, now I'm gonna throw that in the oven at 425 for about 20 minutes. All right, so for the vegetable to have with the maple pecan roasted sweet potatoes, I'm gonna just make some spinach and mushrooms. So I'm just gonna quickly water saute a bunch of mushrooms that I just washed. So I'm gonna add some garlic salt. I feel like it adds a ton of flavor, but if you're salt free, you can just add a little garlic powder. Okay, so now the mushrooms are cooked down, so I've turned off the heat, and now I'm just gonna add a bunch of spinach to wilt it. This is like a really good way to get your greens in for the day. All right, so I'm gonna add the spinach and mushrooms. Okay, the potatoes are done. Look at those. They are so tasty. All right guys, now that that's done, all I'm gonna do is take a teaspoon of maple syrup, and you can use less if you want, or completely leave it off, but I feel like it just adds so much flavor to it. And then I'm gonna take 1 or 2 pecans and I'm gonna chop them up and sprinkle them up on top. Again, if you want to completely cut out overt fats during weight loss, you can do that. But again, do what you're comfortable with. And it looks like that's enough, so I'm only gonna use 1. And it just adds a ton of flavor. And to the spinach and mushrooms, I'm just gonna drizzle a really good balsamic vinegar on top. You can use any good syrupy balsamic vinegar, and I will link the one that I like in the description box along with the discount code. So tasty, and that 1 pecan chopped up on top of here is like, it makes all the difference in the world to me. So if you find that your sweet potatoes are drying out in the oven, then all you have to do is spray them with a little water, or I like to squeeze a little lemon juice on top, and the lemon juice like really brightens the flavor and it helps keep them moist in the oven. So you can try that. And seriously, don't stress out if you don't have vanilla powder or you can't find vanilla powder. I just picked this up because I was at the store and happened to see it, and I don't get down into a Walmart very often or down into city stores very often, so when I see something fun, I grab it. And I like it because it has kind of like a cupcakey flavor, but vanilla extract works just fine. I'm going to show you guys how to make just some potato hash. These are just some leftover roasted vegetables from last night. It's jalapeno, onion, and mushrooms. And these are leftover baked potatoes. And these are about, you know, fit into the palm of, and these fit into the palm of my hand, so they're not huge. All right, so you want them to get pretty mashed. You can also do this in a food processor. And then I'm going to take my vegetables, and I want to chop them up kind of small. All right, and then I'm just gonna take a little onion powder and some garlic powder. I'm just gonna use my hands and just kind of mix it all up. All right, and so now I have my parchment lined baking sheet, and all I'm gonna do is just pour this out on here. I'm not gonna form them or anything. Like, I don't like to put that much effort into breakfast. So you just wanna spread it out so it gets nice and crispy, and you can put them in your air fryer or in your oven. I'm just gonna roast these at 425 in my oven for about 20 minutes. For my vegetable, I'm gonna do just some steamed kale. All right, so I'm just gonna put some canned mandarin oranges on top. And then for the dressing, it's super simple. I'm just gonna do equal parts maple syrup and Dijon. So just put a little maple syrup in there and then some Dijon mustard. Just like that. And now I'm gonna add just a little smoked paprika. And that makes a really, really delicious smoky maple Dijon dressing for the kale. It is so good on there. All right, the potatoes are done and they look super delicious. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put a little garlic salt on here. You can of course leave that off. And then of course I'm gonna top it with ketchup. Alright guys, so this is definitely one of my favorite savory breakfasts. It's super simple to throw together, as you saw, and it is so good, especially with lots of ketchup on top. Alright guys, that is it for me today. Again, make sure you check out Chelsea's video for lunch ideas and Hannah's video for dinner ideas. I will link them for you guys below. Make sure you subscribe to their channels and follow their accounts on Instagram as well. I hope to see you guys in the Eat Your Veg Challenge, and remember to keep this journey about health and not just about the skinny. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.